It's Monday, guys, so you know what that means. It is what's today, guys? What is it? Yeah, it's Monday's market update or the market of the moment. So, I am Kira Ford, your real estate cheerleader, aka your favorite Dallas realtor, and I am gonna make today short and sweet. So, and you're gonna see me look back and forth. Y'all know the drill. I have TikTok on my phone, and then I have YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn on my computer. I need to figure out how to make them both go. I am tech savvy, but some things I just haven't figured out, guys. So bear with me. Okay, so let's jump into things today. Okay, so usually when we talk on Mondays, I feel like last week it was so heavy on the buyers, and I was like, hey, sellers, don't be mad at me. Today was very heavy on the buy side. Well, today I want to make sure that we talk buy side, sell side, and investors. So before we jump into everything, I know a lot of people are watching the news and headlines and scrolling, but let's make sense of it, okay? Let's make sense of all the things that you're seeing, but you're trying to figure out how to digest. Okay, so let's start off with numbers because data don't have drama. I guess data's over drama versus, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Data over drama. Because sometimes with headlines and scrolling, I feel like you can make it more than it really is, okay? And two, a lot of times headlines are telling you the national story versus the local story. So be mindful of that, guys. But I will tell you this. Let's talk numbers. Oh, what is this on TikTok? Okay. That was different. Okay. Can y'all tell? I'm still trying to get used to all the things with TikTok. They give you gifts and all kinds of things. But anywho, let's stay focused here. So data. Mortgage rates have finally trended downwards. Like, I'm so grateful that we're looking at like 6.6 and under for interest rates. So people who have been like, oh, I'm waiting for interest rate to start slowly to go down. Well, here's the news. It's slowly going down. Also, inflation rate is starting to stabilize for now. But the job data is bouncing all over the place. I will say that. When we had the Fed's meeting, they were talking about, oh, Jake wants to say hello, per usual. Anytime I get on to, oh, Jake, get your hand. Have a dog, they say. Okay, baby. Go over there while mommy does this. Go. Go. Okay. Can y'all tell that my focus is a lot of places today? What does it say? Try to sell my house now, and so many new homes are building in my neighborhood. Yes. So, okay, on TikTok, someone just commented that they are trying to sell their house right now, but there is just so many new builds, trying to sell at the same time. And funny enough, I actually had a seller consultation this afternoon with someone who is wanting to sell their property in a new construction area. And let me just give you guys a couple of tips. First off, if you can sit on the house a little longer, I would advise you to do so, just to kind of get a little bit more equity built up. But if that's something that is not in your favor, because maybe you're in a new construction area that they're going to continue to grow, which they were in this area, it was like continuing to grow with new construction. So if you're going to place your house on the market, you need to have a strategic plan. So do you have an FHA loan where your loan can be like an assumable loan? That's a way to strategize and market your property. Also, how much have you paid into the house? Are you okay with it being a wash? You guys not making any money and you just getting out of the house without having to bring money to closing? Also, what's special about your house compared to the new construction homes? Are you able to do some concessions? What concessions would you be able to do? We can also do some lender strategic plans, which is like, for this house, if you use this lender, they'll be willing to give you a 5% interest rate. There's just so many ways you can do it. However, it can be tricky. So I'm sorry to hear that you're trying to sell your house in a new construction area and it's not going as planned. But also, you need to make sure you have the right mindset and the right expectations because, yeah, it's completely different when you're selling in a new construction home that you haven't been in that long. Yeah, I would say if you can hold on to it for another 3 to 4 years to do that or rent it out, that could be an option as well. So, sorry to hear that. Let's get back to the numbers. So, already said mortgage rates are down. They're slowly trending down. We're at a 6.6. Even some, I've been seeing some pre-approvals that are lower than a 6.6 interest rate, which is nice. Inflation is, stabilizing, which is also good. Jobs aren't really like hiring right now. It's like no hire, no fire. So if you have a job, keep your job because if not, it might be challenging to find a job. And then also pending sales, they're down 15%, y'all. Yeah, so in June, and you got to realize when I give you numbers, it's numbers from like last month. So we just went into August, so we're just now getting June numbers. Yeah, I know. We'll have July numbers more towards middle of August, really trending closer to the end of August. But in June, pending sales dropped 15%, which means 57,000 contracts didn't make it to closing. It dropped. So they went under contract and then they fell out. So people who are sellers who are excited about getting offers, also remember that it's not about just getting the offer, it's about getting to the closing table. So really be mindful of your strategy. Always think about a win-win situation for the buyer and you. Don't always just think about you because we're not fully in a seller's market in some areas. Now, some areas we are, but most areas in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, oh no, we are in a buyer's market or a balanced market. So that's the data. Now let me talk to the buyers, and then we'll get to the sellers and then the investors. So for my buyers, you've got room to negotiate. You got the leverage now, guys. This is the market you guys have been waiting on. Your interest rates are going down. You have room to negotiate. We have more inventory than we've had in the last 5 years. Inventory is really picking up. I mean, we have more inventory than we would like right now. We need to sell more of these homes, so you guys need to get out here and buy them. But also, I don't want to say don't, because I feel like that's not the right advice. My advice for my buyers is make sure that it's not just an emotional buy, that it's an actual investment. And the reason why I say that is be strategic. Be strategic. Don't just make offers and then be ready to terminate when there's one thing that doesn't go your way. Once again, you do want it to be a win-win situation for both parties. The seller wants to walk away and feel like, wow, I got what I felt like was a good deal. And then buyers, they want you to move in and feel like, man, maybe I'm walking in with equity, or maybe I am finally starting to build wealth or legacy because I have a home now. So just be mindful of that when you are out here buying. What else did I want to tell you, buyers? Also, don't wait. A lot of buyers, I won't say all buyers, but a lot of renters that have been saying that they want to buy a house for years and years, and it's been, I want to buy a house in 2025, and we're already halfway through the year, and now you're saying you want to buy a house in 2026. Don't buy a house once interest rates drop all the way down. And the reason why, I know you're probably like, girl, why? Why are you saying that? That I would want to buy a house when interest rates have dropped completely. Yeah, you would, but also that's when everyone jumps off the fence to buy the house. So now everyone's back into the market, flooding the market. So now you're back to multiple offer situations. You're paying more for the house. So was it really the best thing to do is wait for them all to drop? Or is it best for you to get ready be ready so you don't have to get ready? Okay, that's to my buyers. Now to my sellers, the time is now. Stop guessing. Let's start preparing. We got to price your property right the first time. You don't want to go into the market and chase the market. And I know you're like, Kira, you say this every week, but leaders are repeaters, okay? I'm going to continue to repeat the same thing. When you're selling your house, what they look for, it's a beauty contest. How pretty is your house online? And it also is a pricing war. How is your house priced compared to other homes around you in 1 mile radius? When I was looking at some houses for the consultation that I had today, they had 69 homes on the market in their area. They have competition from 69 homes. That is a lot of houses to compete against. Okay? And then also, your agent that you're working with, you should work with me if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, of course. But if you're not, also figure out what's the average concessions that are being given in this area. So in this area also, the average concession was $12,000 of concessions. And remember, concessions is what is the seller giving to the buyer to be able to buy down the rate or just, take off of their closing cost. So when you put those two things together and you haven't been in the house that long, sometimes it can be a little bit of it's not as ideal to sell as for other people who have like $100,000 of equity in the home. So just be mindful of that, sellers. Also, we want to make sure we're priced right. We want to make sure that we're marketing professionally. We want to make sure that we do a pre-inspection. So I used to not do pre-inspections for a lot of my listings just because of the market that we were in. Things were just like flying off the market. But now that they're not, I really advise for us to lean into pre-inspections, because the more you know up front, the more you are able to best navigate and set the right expectations for the buyers who come in trying to buy your home, okay? And then for my investors, this is the perfect season to play it smart, because buyers are a little scared. Sellers need to sell. There are deals to be had, okay? And I say this all the time as well, is that it's always the right time to buy the right piece of real estate. Because if you buy right, that was a good time to buy, whether the interest rates are at a 7 or a 9. If it's a right buy, it's a right buy, investors. What else do I want to tell my investors? Sales are starting to slow down, so competition is thinning out. So you already know, let's get out here. Flips make sense right now. If the numbers make sense, you need to make sure that you're doing your numbers. Long-term rentals, short-term rentals, all of these things make sense. You just have to make sure that you were actually doing your numbers. For my investors, there's different formulas and there's different routes to go depending on what type of investor you are. If you're somebody who wants to invest, buy, or sell, schedule a strategy session where we have a one-on-one, so I know what your goals are, so I can best assist you on which route to go, okay? What else did I want to tell you guys? What's going on in the Dallas market? I just think that new construction still is the route to go for buyers too. I'm getting incentives after incentives after incentives come through my email from my new construction sales reps that I know well, and they are slicing prices and still giving concessions. So if you are someone who wants a good deal, I think that new construction is going to be your best route. I just had a client go under contract for a new construction too. So make sure you have a realtor when you're going with new construction, because you don't know what you're doing. I know a lot of people go buy homes saying, oh, I don't need a realtor since I am buying new construction. Yes, you do. You need someone who's advocating for you, because the sales rep is not working for you. They're working for the builder. So if anything ever went left, guess what? They wouldn't be advocating for you, okay? So just don't forget it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Any other comments, questions that I can answer? You can put it into the comments. I am not the best at seeing some of them. Let me see if we have any comments or questions here. Nope, no. Any comments and questions here? Okay, well, if not, friends, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Monday's Market of the Moment. And if you guys want one-on-ones, make sure you schedule your strategy session and I'll get you from where you are to where you want to be. All right, I love you guys. Until next time, peace.